Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for November 15th through 20th. I feel like a ton of stuff happened this week that some of it could have waited.
Okay.
Because it kind of got lost in the mix.
Okay.
I don't know how you feel.
What are you talking about specifically?
Well, first, let's just go ahead and correct ourselves.
Oh, no.
We both forgot Olivia does love animals. Thank you to a few people messaged us, and everyone was super sweet about it. But Sally Stieglitz, again, apologize if I mispronounced your name. When Ned and Olivia first got together, she drunk dialed animal shelters to save all the puppies. Here are a few recap snapshots. And so this was from General Hospital blog. And it said, Olivia is hurt deeper than she could have ever imagined just by knowing that Sonny slept with Ava. After a night of drowning her sorrows in alcohol, the damsel in distress was rescued by her knight in shining armor, Ned. He saved her from drunk dialing an animal shelter and adopting all those adorable puppies, which would result in Carly being very angry with their new, quote, doggy hotel. He was there for her as a shoulder to cry on and to hold back her hair when she was too drunk to do it herself. He gave her a nice warm place to sleep and a listening ear. In the morning, Olivia thanked Ned for his hospitality and let him know that Lois was crazy for letting him go.
Aww.
So, how did we forget that?
I don't know.
I mean, we've talked about this all the time. There's so many times where
Right now that
it
you
occurs
say it,
to us.
I'm like, oh,
Right.
I do remember that.
But even as we're doing our research on our 411s, we're like, I totally forgot this happened.
Yes.
So thank you again, Sally, for sending us that clip. Thank you to everyone else for reminding us and for everyone who was kind about it, because it's hard to remember all this information. And especially as we're talking, you know,
in the moment.
there was nothing of that conversation that made me, and we all know I love to Google. But there was nothing that if he had said something like,
I don't want you to adopt all the animals again.
Or, you know, remember our first night?
Right.
Like, and, you know, I've loved your passion for animals since our first night.
Yeah.
Like, if he had referenced it, we would have been like, wait, what? And gone back and looked.
Yes.
But there was none of that, and that's okay. But
yeah, thanks for the reminder, because I totally do remember that now.
yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, good. I'm glad they tied it all together, because I was confused last week when I'm like, why do we suddenly love the animals? Although the art exhibit was amazing, so they could have kept it even without her love for animals and all that.
Exactly. But I was able to get my daughter to watch the exhibit. I had to fast forward through when they were talking.
Right.
But she was able to watch, and she was like, oh, that's cool. So
very cool.
Getting her in there a little bit. I'll be like, yeah, sure. They always have photo exhibits at the Jerome Gallery.
All the time.
Why not?
All the time.
Yeah.
I think that leads us right into Leo, though. Is the water fact real?
I do not know that. I did not Google it either. However, at least in Wally Kurth's experience, it absolutely is, because he frequently shares photos of him and his son at the beach.
Oh, okay.
So I thought I took it as, oh, that's sweet that he's bringing in his experience to that. I thought perhaps Leo was trying to go to the aquarium.
Oh, okay.
And wanted to see the octopus or the zoo, you know, whatever.
Right.
I thought that he wanted to see it in real life. However, it makes sense that he would just go down to the Pier 54 and try to find the octopus. So I did like that they at least brought in, if it is true, if we also don't really, we have the Three Rivers, you know, it's what Pittsburgh's known for. However, where we live directly, it's not a concern.
Right.
So,
exactly.
And I don't know if that's true for our local police, if that would be the first
I don't know. I can ask my
place
ex
they
then
would look, you know,
and see if they're actually taught that.
So I know that one of our local police departments does actually issue stickers that you can put on your, you know, how like they have like the baby on board or whatever that says like, you know, person with intellectual disabilities on board.
Oh, nice.
So like they may not answer you
Right.
in the way that you would typically want someone to answer you.
Mm-hmm.
I do know, and mass media can kindly attest to this too, and like things that we've seen on social media recently, not all police departments are necessarily trained in dealing in
Right.
working with people with intellectual disabilities. You know, we've seen it many times where they've arrested a child, like 10 years old, is getting physically handcuffed because they're not responding in the way that police need them to.
Right.
And there was one horrible video where the kid was actually being dragged. I mean, it was disgusting. It was years ago, but it was horrible. So I think that there's still a place for that. But to hear that at least the Port Charles PD,
Yes. Thanks, Chief.
you know, but they brought that in where, yeah, they do need to be
Absolutely
trained in these specific ways,
mm-hmm.
you know, for intellectual differences, you know, and especially runaways of different types or perceived runaways or whatever. I thought he was super cute tugging on Brook Lynn.
Yeah.
And I loved that even as they were having Brook Lynn talking to Gladys, you could still see Brook Lynn being tugged. I was like, oh, that's so cute. I mean, it was
typical of a kid. Yeah.
Right. But they still showed it even in it was just like a subtle gesture that I thought was nice that they kept it in the scene that he wasn't in.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously he was still tugging at her offline, or off screen.
Yes.
But yeah.
I'm glad that Olivia finally is admitting that she's scared, and
yes,
it seems like is going to accept Ned's help to get him to see the specialist and find out exactly what, if anything, is going on.
Yep. I did. I like that. And I like that she said, I like how they had her do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like how it was just, she seemed more scared of the unknown, not necessarily, I think she knows what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
She's not scared of that. I took it as she was scared of the unknown.
Oh, right.
Is that how it seemed?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Because I think that the thing that scared her the most was she didn't know the first thing to look for.
Right. It was definitely reassuring that Ned could say, I've read this and this is what's happened.
Yep.
Do you see where we're kind of going with this line of thought? So she understood it.
You know, we're going to go ahead and Google that. Because I meant to. So, according to an article on missingkids.org by Patricia Davis, they say education is what you remember after you've forgotten what you've learned. What struck with Officer Jonathan Prusner on his training on how to search for missing children with autism saved a 7-year-old girl's life. Follow the water. The little girl known as Mookie had bolted from her babysitter on that blustery, rainy March day. Mookie's in quotes, so I'm assuming it's a nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Officer Prusner had learned that children on the autism spectrum are often drawn to water, so he drove straight to a pond in that child's neighborhood. No sign of her there. After an hour-long search intensified with a helicopter circling and police dogs tracking her scent on the ground, Prusner, an Army vet who lost his left leg in an explosion while serving in Iraq, decided to follow the pond's drainage ditch upstream on foot to see where it led. And it led to Mookie laying near an underground drainage pipe in several inches of water, suffering from hypothermia.
Aww.
Wow. That's amazing.
Don't start crying.
I'm sorry.
Don't start crying. It is amazing good news.
It is, but like that's okay. So at least in this instance, yes, they are trained. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I would assume if you lived in that kind of an area, like
maybe that
would never be a concern for me though, because we don't really have streams or anything in my direct neighborhood that I would personally have to be concerned with my daughter going towards.
Right.
I love when they do their research.
Beautiful.
I don't know where to go from there. I guess we could stick with the art exhibit and go to Sasha and Brando.
Okay.
And Esme thinking that she locked Trina in the closet to prevent her from giving the check and making her look stupid.
Right.
But thank goodness Gladys was really sweet to Sasha.
She was.
She was giving her lip at first, and then when she realized, oh no.
Yes.
There could be something going on here.
She was very nice.
She was coaching her gently, you know.
And in a very Gladys way, because she was still putting herself into it. Like, I remember when I was pregnant, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So it wasn't all about Sasha.
But I forget what it was that she said, but she said something that she realized was like probably not appropriate or applicable to the situation. And she was like, oh, never mind. Like, I forget what she did, but I'm glad that they found her before.
I know. I thought if that baby is born in that back room, I'm going to be so annoyed. Let's just have a normal birth. Not that it exactly went that way, but at least it wasn't in the back room.
Right.
And I didn't get Esme trying to say that there was something going on with Cameron and Trina. There's nothing going on with them.
She's just trying to stir the pot. She's trying to pick a fight wherever it is. Oh,
Try
Cam,
harder.
though.
Yeah.
I do not need your opinion on what Joss and I do.
Exactly. Love it.
I think he had like that little smirk on, and sometimes like when I'm real angry, like I'm one of those people that I will smile or I'll get like a quivery lip, like if I'm really, really angry, but proud of myself for standing my ground.
Yes.
And I feel like that's what he was doing because he got like a little bit of a smirk, like, woohoo, I did it. But I was terrified, but I did it.
Mind your business, Esme.
Seriously.
It was just so far-fetched. Like, even Spencer was like, what? No, there's not anything going on with them. What are you trying to get at?
Right. Yeah.
If you're trying to make me jealous, it's not working because I know that Cam is not cheating on Jocelyn.
Right.
Thanks.
I think she was trying to maybe show that, oh, Trina's not
Perfect. Right.
perfect or into you or anything.
Yeah. Didn't work there.
Oh,
Esme.
but Spencer looked at Trina right past Esme. That's why.
Mm-hmm. I know. I get the jealous girl thing. And Spencer's not doing a good job of reassuring her that she's the only one.
He had goo eyes on her and just like staring at Esme.
Yep.
I liked his reflection that the tiger and the Cassadines are both on the verge of extinction.
Yes.
Sad.
I don't feel like they're on the verge of extinction, though.
The Cassadines?
Yeah.
Well, there's because more of them keep popping out of the woodwork, so who knows?
Exactly. There's
I don't know
more
how many
now
affairs
than there
have
has
been going on.
been. I'm sure there's a bunch of children scattered around. And it's not like Spencer should be having kids yet. I'm assuming when he gets older, he'll have one or two.
Yeah. Who
There'll
knows?
be more Cassadines.
Oh, please don't let him get Esme pregnant.
Oh, no. That would be awful. Ugh, don't even say that.
Oh, Scott representing Victor. That's something that I feel like, why was that even in there?
Right.
Like, that's something that could have waited until we were on that line.
Especially since Scotty was finally on the ball with his defense.
Right.
He deserved the gold star because he thought it all through and was like, we will tell them we're going to do this and then they're going to let you go because they don't want their secrets revealed.
I mean, am I wrong? Like, that really did not serve any other purpose this week other than the 5 seconds that was in there.
Right, because Victor escaped then, or they let him out, but they held Scott back. But we never saw where he went. We never saw anything else. He's just gone.
Right. And kind of the same thing with Marshall.
Yeah.
And finding out that is Curtis's dad.
Right.
I feel like that was just like a one-off, like, okay.
Right, we need a 10-minute filler.
Exactly. Like, that's kind of how I was like, wait, so we're just not going to do anything with that? Because that's my third note. So obviously that happened on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, it was
nothing
early.
else happened for the rest of the week.
No, he admitted he was his dad. And then Curtis was like, well, you're a jerk because you just left. And then he said the thing about the Christmas present and showed him the picture or left the picture for him. And then walked out and that was it.
Like, we did not see Curtis the rest of the week, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope.
I'm wondering, so we were trying to fit together, why did he beat up Joey Novak? What if he is trying to take advantage of the quote vacant spot, even though Cyrus is still part of the 5 families, but he's in jail. So maybe he's trying to make a play for that. And so therefore he was, once he came to town, once he found out that the head of the Bushima and the Novak families, and now he's like all beating up Joey because I don't know. I'm making this up as I go.
I don't feel like he's mob related. I felt like he beat up Joey because Joey was trying to move in on Curtis's bar.
Okay.
And he wanted to protect his son. But your theory makes sense since he kept saying it wasn't safe for him to be around.
Right. Yeah.
He could have mob connections, but I don't know.
The head of a mob family, no?
I don't know. I feel like maybe they'll have him have worked for Frank
Faith
Smith.
Roscoe. Faith Roscoe.
No! Frank
Bring
Smith.
it back, Faith.
Frank Smith.
Okay. And then that's why he would have left?
I mean, Frank Smith was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So he could have, maybe he crossed Frank and then had to go away.
For this long?
I don't know.
Because he's using his real last name.
I don't know. I'm making it up as I go along too. I don't know what his ties are going to be. I wanted the explanation. I wanted him to tell Curtis why it was too difficult or too unsafe. And we never got back there.
No.
Just like having Carly talk to Phyllis, I felt like was pointless.
Okay.
That conversation, she's like, tell me more. But then they don't really show them telling her more.
Yeah.
And then Carly gets up and is all mad about the Nina stuff whenever she gets to...
So Phyllis moved into Charlie's.
Yeah.
Into Julian's old place.
Right.
And Phyllis is like, it works.
Yes.
Like, that's all that I need is a bed.
Yes. That makes sense.
Where's Christina?
I don't know where Christina... I was okay with Christina not being the one to live there. Because
we know that.
Right. And I was okay with Phyllis being the manager at that moment until later in the week when Nina had somebody else serve her?
Mm-hmm.
Were they at Charlie's? And that was a different bartender.
Yes.
So that should have been Christina.
Well, you could have a bartender that's not a manager.
But it was
I
like
was a
he was the
bartender
only
that
person
wasn't a manager.
there.
Yeah, true.
If they would have made a comment, if he would have said to her, I'll give you a drink, but then you got to get out of here because Christina's in back.
Yes!
That would have made sense.
Yes.
And we wouldn't even needed to see her. Just, hey, you don't want to have a run-in with her because when she sees you, she's going to go off about what you did to her dad.
Yeah, just a bit. Just a bit. So we didn't have this thought last week about Sonny buying Charlie's. Is he alive again then? Is he legally alive? Because dead people can't buy bars.
That's a question
Even if
for
it's-
Carly. You'll have to call her up and
His
ask her.
corporation, if he's the one signing, he'd still have to be, because Ava didn't bring
How long
those.
does it take to make you alive again?
I don't know. Diane was working on it, remember?
Right.
And then the next week, apparently, Ava's bringing the closing papers.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, but we never had a hooray, you're alive again?
But the real estate paperwork got processed super fast. Remember?
Yeah.
So maybe the you're not dead paperwork got processed fast.
But that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's just, I'm just.
But they
gonna
made
assume.
a point of mentioning that Diane really had her work cut out for her and making sure that Sonny was alive again. How long does it take to prove that you're alive?
That I don't know. But if anyone can do it quickly, it's Diane Miller.
That is true.
That was a good commercial.
If you need to prove that you're alive, call Diane Miller.
1-800 not dead. There you go. You're welcome, Diane.
We would like some free legal counsel then. Thanks.
Oh, that was fun. I love Diane. So, talking about Carly freaking out, I felt like Willow was 100% right.
Oh, she was amazing.
100% right. And the way that she stood up to Carly was great because she was trying to not be disrespectful.
She was absolutely.
And Carly just kept pushing, and then she was like, I don't think that was your decision to make. So,
yep.
Back up,
I
sister.
thought she
I'm the
did
mom.
a great job.
And I would have handled it that exact same way. Wiley ran to her. You would not
Right.
rip him up out of that situation and be like, no, we don't like that grandma anymore.
And I'm sorry, Carly. Willow's supposed to ask permission from Michael first?
Right.
When do you ever ask a man's permission
Exactly.
for anything?
Exactly. And I'm glad that Michael stuck right with that whenever they were talking later. He was like,
For a second, I was going to
might have
backhand him.
Yes, exactly. He was like, I would have probably done the same thing or something similar or whatever.
When
like,
he said, go, mom, he is lucky that he said the next thing, right?
yes, yes,
She still had those gloves on.
she did. They were good together. I liked
That
that
was,
interaction. That was a sincere interaction.
Yes.
Let me explain what happened. Your mom freaked out. She didn't need to.
I just didn't like, though, when he decided it was time to stop the conversation.
True.
You know, I didn't feel like that was a natural progression. It wasn't like she was.
She said, I want to go hit the bag more.
Yeah.
So,
But she was hitting it because of that.
yes.
So it should have been her still venting, you know, and then maybe him being responding like, hey, what do you think about let's try to move on from this, you know,
Yes.
he basically just said, all right, I'm done. Let's go to New York City.
Yeah.
He's going to ditch the Thanksgiving tradition. Is he not going to have pizza on Thanksgiving?
I don't know. Maybe they'll do both.
They'll get pizza and room service?
Yeah.
Okay. Like room service Thanksgiving dinner?
Right.
That poor hotel. I am glad that he just didn't get mad at Willow, though. Like, that was...
Oh, I would have been so mad because
Yeah.
she did exactly right.
Yep.
And she didn't prolong them hanging out together. She was like, we can have some hot chocolate. All right, now you go skate or whatever he was
Exactly.
doing.
And she made that clear to Nina.
Mm-hmm.
When's Nina going to apologize for ruining her career?
Right.
Like, when is that ever going to happen? Nina owes her a huge apology.
Mm-hmm. For so many things.
Granted, now she's happy with, you know...
It doesn't matter.
Hold it. Random daycare worker is off on her day off.
Yes.
Hanging out at this fall festival, which I would love to see more of.
Right.
What are we doing?
Right. But we
But
just hand
I'm
our
sure
kids off to her.
The last thing she wants, I'm sure she's over 21. She might have had some beverages. Let's hope. I'm not saying let's hope she's drunk, but it's just
Let's
like,
hope she was enjoying her day however she sees
Right.
fit and doesn't want to take care of
But-
someone else's kid at the last minute.
I don't think did she offer to take Wiley?
I don't think so either.
I thought,
No, she
oh,
was
is this
like,
the
hi.
nanny? At first I was
Right.
like, oh, is this the nanny? And then it was, oh no, you know her for daycare. Okay. It would have been one thing if she had been like, hey, some of the other kids are over here. Let's go play on the
Right.
jumping jack-o'-lantern. I don't know.
Okay.
But nobody batted an eye when Willow comes over holding Wiley's hand and said, since his grandparents can't stop fighting, we're leaving. They're all like, okay, bye. Like, none of them self-reflected.
No.
And we're like, oh, should we not be behaving this way?
No. And I wouldn't have made that point to say in front of Wiley. Like, that kind of just defeated your whole purpose.
Yeah.
By bringing it up. It would be, it's time to go. We'll say hi to them later. They're in a conversation. Or bye to them later.
Right.
They're in a conversation. And take him out the other way. Because I'm sure there's 10 different paths that lead to that place.
Right.
Absurd. And then Sonny and Carly were like, I love you, kisses or whatever. And Nina is still just like, bye. And so then she didn't go into the whole grandparent thing, which seemed off and was what Willow was trying to avoid in the first place whenever Wiley said hi.
And it would have proved her point if Wiley had been like, Grandma Nina,
Yes.
like, give me hugs.
Exactly.
We don't have to force children to give people hugs if they don't want to. However,
Right.
that would have brought it full circle.
Right. Or if when she said bye, Wiley, he would have instantly been like, love you, Grandma. Or
Right.
something like that.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was already there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with everything that Carly said when she was talking to Bobbie. Okay, so first of all, Bobbie goes to Charlie's to get a large coffee, and yet what is right in the middle of the fall festival?
A Perks cart. Yes. And, okay, I understand that you're tired, but I don't care how tired you are. You do not forget that your grandson is with some other man's wife. She said to Chase, everyone was singing the praises about your wife. And he was like, you mean ex-wife or whatever they are, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like,
oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. And then her next sentence is, I appreciate how happy Willow makes Michael, but I'm sorry you got hurt in the process. There's no way that you didn't have that whole connection going on in your head.
Yeah.
That was a dumb line. I understand they needed to introduce Bobbie into it so that she could say she was in Beecher's corner and Chase could figure all that out. But that should have not been the way that it opened up with.
Okay. But so I was so upset that Sonny almost told Carly.
Yes.
You know, like he was really, I do understand her entire frustration of, she feels like she's married to a stranger right now. How can she not? She doesn't know the man that he's been for
9 months.
The majority of this year.
Yeah.
You know, he has memories. And when he said, Nina was my only friend, and she was like, wait, what are you talking about? I thought you just saw her, not that you guys were actually friends. Oh my gosh, is it going to hit the fan? But when Bobbie made the comment of, I know what it's like to feel like there's a third person in your marriage, was that a dig at Carly?
I feel like heck yeah,
Carly
it was.
legit broke up Bobbie's marriage.
Yeah. I feel like that absolutely was a dig at Carly without trying to be a dig. I think that Bobbie does a good job of not sugarcoating the truth. Like, we can admit that this happened and that now we're at this point. It doesn't erase that this happened. I'm not holding a grudge, but it still happened.
Right.
Still happened. So I was proud of her for that. Like, good job. You go, Bobbie.
I didn't know. I was like, was there something else? Like, someone else? Because she had an affair with Roy.
Yes.
So she can't really be saying, I know what it's like. So
the only way
is, I mean, we've never really dived into Tony and Bobbie's marriage, but from the time that I remember, it was Carly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where are we going next? So I guess we could just stick with Chase figuring it out.
I was not ready for him to show up there. First of all, I was annoyed that Brook Lynn talked around that subject 100,000 times. And I understand it is not hard to admit that you did.
I appreciate all of her emotions, though, that it was devastating.
I appreciate her emotions, except for it didn't make any sense to sit there and tell him over and over again, but I didn't mean for it to happen that way. It was more complicated, blah, blah, blah. And then not say, because the baby's not mine either.
Yes. And I feel like she was trying a little bit. At first I said, I can't believe Brook Lynn's really doubling down on this.
Right.
Like, I'm like, no, she cannot leave this room without him knowing.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, he already knew before she walked in, but I felt like Maxie would have understood. And I really do think that even if Valentin doesn't understand to the point that he wants to keep being the dad, that he would not tell Peter or would not tell publicly.
Well, and that's
that
kind of what Nina was telling
Peter's.
Maxie. Like, do you think for a second he would not have helped you?
Right.
That's what we've been saying all along.
Exactly. But I feel like he's still going to help her, even if he's not going to keep treating Bailey like his baby.
Do you think that he's not going to sue for custody?
Well, there you go.
I think he might sue for custody.
Oh, that would be so good.
Because
he's listed on the birth certificate.
He's listed on the birth certificate. I don't know who, we talked about this with Alan, that, okay, this was pre-DNA though.
Right.
But Maxie's going to have to go to him.
Right. That's why I thought that Brook Lynn should have explained
Yes.
the entire situation. And it's awesome that Chase busts in and is like, I'm the dad. But all you just did was make everything more complicated.
Right. I did love that it seemed like 90% of his rage was towards Charlotte and Bailey getting hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, yeah, he was not happy about this whole thing. But
right.
everything kept going back to...
Especially Charlotte. Like he said, she's 12. She's not going to forget this. Bailey is not going to remember,
right.
you know, positive or negative. I don't know how you want to look at it, but she's not going to remember. But Charlotte is absolutely going to be like...
When he said that he would hunt her down if she said anything
yes.
Or what did he say? He said something about if you...
Because she said she wanted to be with him.
Right. And he was like, no. And he's like, and my God, I'll mourn over you. Or it's something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was
like, just don't mess
with
my daughter.
He basically threatened her life. Yeah. You know, I mean,
but I would too.
Hug him.
If you're messing with my kids, you want to hug him all the time. I don't know that your intentions are true here.
He needed a good hug and a good shoulder to cry on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
You're more than happy to provide that.
But Chase coming in and saying that he's the father.
I don't understand why.
Why? Like,
I don't get it. Why was that his solution? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Yeah. I will be interested to see where that all goes because it didn't make sense to me. And now is Maxie going to break in and be like, I'm the mom? Like, what?
Right. And now Valentin's going to lose all respect for Chase.
Mm-hmm. Unless they play it like Chase didn't know until now. Then it wouldn't be Chase's fault.
Well, she said Chase did not know.
Well, then he can't lose respect for Chase until it comes out that he's not Chase's.
I hope that Brook Lynn says, no, get in here.
Let me explain.
You need to stop investigating. You need to hear this.
Yes.
Close the door.
Please, dear God, close the door and everyone turn off your cell phones so we're not accidentally recording anything.
Yes. Because then Austen was calling out Maxie too.
Oh, and Maxie did so well of saying, Brook Lynn is my friend and now you're not because you just keep doing negative things too, mister. You're not perfect.
Yep.
Loved it.
Because she sees through him doing the right thing and like, oh yeah, Gladys is really that captivating?
Exactly.
Like, I don't think so. You're trying to tell me that you're not trying to use her to get to Brooklyn? Nope.
Absolutely. And you use Chase for all just your own.
Yep.
Get the paperwork.
Yep.
I liked Nina and Maxie talking about, is the truth better late than never? And then they were like, no, not if it's held for so long, blah, blah. I'm like,
right.
Yeah, you gotta kind of expect people to not be happy about secrets that you've held for months.
Do you ever watch SNL? Like the old, okay, now they're old SNL from like the 90s? Okay. Mm-hmm. Rachel Dratch had this character named Debbie Downer.
Okay.
Tell me that's not the face that Nina keeps making.
That is the face. Oh no! Oh darn!
When she was talking to Maxie, and she just did like the half, like little. I was like, okay, freeze in on zoom on Rachel Dratch because this is in the
whatever negative
thing it was. She would make that face, and then they would zoom in on her, and yeah. So that's just funny. What I thought was. That's what that reminded me of. But yeah, I did like that. Okay, so we have to now get to Sasha and Brando.
Uh-huh.
That Maxie was reassuring Brando, like, it's going to be okay.
Yes.
Did you? No, you didn't. You just thought about having a kid and it popped out.
Yes, that's exactly how it worked.
I didn't have to have a C-section. I know that my mom had 4 of them, and I didn't know that they were, quote, a bad thing because I came out okay. Like, and so did my sisters. So I didn't know that it was supposed to be, I don't want to say a scary situation.
I think the word emergency is what makes it scary because I was born C-section. It was pre-scheduled because of health stuff with my mom, blood clots, blah, blah, blah. She'd had a bunch of kids, whatever. So it was already determined that I was going to be C-section, and at the same time they were going to do a hysterectomy because my mom was 40 and they were like, no more kids for you. So I remember her talking.
Did they make that decision or did she ask for it?
Well, when they were scheduling
Sorry, not to get all personal in your mom's life.
No. She was told after she had a bunch of miscarriages in between all of us. And so she was told to not have any more kids, but she wanted one, so she didn't listen. So when she got pregnant with me, the doctor, who was like her favorite doctor ever, was like, listen, if you get pregnant again, I'm not dealing with you because you are putting your life at risk. And before she went in for the C-section, they told her that it was a very real chance that only one of us were going to make it. So she had to decide if it was going to be me or her that was okay. And so, luckily we were both fine, but that was why they needed to do the hysterectomy, was because it would not have been safe for her and another baby to go through this again.
But she did say,
she knew
go ahead.
Yes, yeah. They did
not decide.
I mean, they decided for her, but it was like a joint pressure. Like, my dad was like, no, listen, seriously, we can't do this again. My grandpa was like, no, seriously, you can't do this again. So she listened to medical advice and the people in her life and was part of the decision. But they did say, like,
this really has to be
This needs to happen. So anyway, but I just remember her talking about forgetting that you had the C-section, because I guess you're on decent meds, or at least back then you were. And so the baby's in the bassinet crying, and she like jumped up to get me like you do for your baby. And then she was like, oh my God.
And how like, she was able to with all the other ones. Cause okay.
So that was the only, I think the word emergency, as with any surgery, is what makes that the super scary thing. And the placental abruption is like obviously not a good thing.
Well, and Brando stopping and saying like, you made a point of saying you both. First of all, let's not stop the doctor.
She's on her way to do something, Brando, to ask questions later.
But I hope that they normalize the fact that C-section is a way to give birth.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know.
There's a lot. Yep. Nope. I hope that, but at the same time, I hope that maybe they address it where Sasha feels guilty over it or something, and then they comfort her and are like, no, the goal is for the baby to come out, and that is what happened, and now you're both healthy.
And you could tell she was feeling like that, because whenever they said, we're going to do a C-section, she was like, no, I can still handle this, even though her whole body was hurting, not just a contraction hurt or whatever. So that would make sense if she had some feelings about it. But no, you're a mom, no matter how the baby gets here.
Yep. Formula or breast.
Exactly. If you have a child that looks at you in any way as a mom, you're a mom.
Yep.
Just how it goes.
Not a fan of her saying that, look what came from our one night stand. You guys got a relationship out of it.
Right. And let's not say that to the baby all the time. But FYI, you were born from a one night stand.
I don't see it that way. Like,
I don't think that it would have stayed a one night stand.
Regardless.
Right. Exactly.
It had already progressed before she found out she was pregnant.
Right.
So it's not like 2 months later, she shows up after not seeing him for 2 months and hi.
Right, exactly. Side comment to all this, we were at a birthday party yesterday and someone asked Ryan if he watched the show, and he was like, no, I don't really watch it. Like, I just listen to the podcast to be nice, blah, 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 whatever.
To be nice.
So, to be supportive, whatever. So, yesterday we're watching it because I'm catching up, and he had laughed about their computer system before, because when they walk away from the computer, it's still Windows 95. And so,
seriously?
Yes. So when,
thank you, Ryan.
When Elizabeth ran up to the doctor and was like, I was looking for you. This is an emergency, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah, God knows you couldn't page them with that old system. Windows 95 wouldn't support that. Blah, blah. And I turned and looked at him and I was like, I thought you didn't watch the show.
Right.
Like, why are you so involved in this? So it was funny.
Why isn't there? She was using her pad. No, she's using that tablet.
iPad, yeah.
Why isn't there a button so that you're not causing alarm to the patient that you are secretly paging the doctor at the same time? Like,
come down here quick.
This is where a beeper would come in handy.
Right.
Because I think, do doctors still have beepers? On Grey's Anatomy, they do.
They do. And even if they don't, I feel like they have an official tablet that they'd carry with them all the time. But like, you would get like a text message.
Yes.
Room 509 needs you for an emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
if this technology is not there yet, copyright. It's called the Shannon Amanda button.
There you go.
Shamanda button.
Do we have a ship name now?
Amandshan.
Oh my, no.
I can't figure it out.
No.
I like that Sasha did not, and none of them said, okay, hold it. So let's go back before we get there.
Okay.
Sonny giving Brando the fatherly advice.
I know. I love Sonny. He's so sweet.
It was great.
Yes.
I thought that he was comforting, but matter of fact.
Right.
you know.
I was also confused. Is it because it was an emergency C-section that Brando couldn't go in? Because nowadays
He got it at the end.
Oh, did he? Okay.
No, because I had that right, and I was like, why is Brando not there? Because, like, so
he's having conversations in the hallway, and they're starting to cut already, and I'm like, what? Where is he?
So if someone could answer this for us, if you work in the
Labor
field
and delivery,
or
yeah.
no, if you've had this experience,
right?
I was wondering why there wasn't like a separate nurse coming to help him prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that would have been something, okay, Dad, here's something, like, here's what's going to happen. Here's what we need from you. Because they did the Lamaze classes. They did that. Here's a crash course in this. Like, you still have to coach her. You still have to support her.
Right.
Here's how.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I was confused by that as well.
Okay.
So, please fill us in.
Because I wasn't paying attention to when he came in, but I just noticed that he was not there when they started cutting and, like, whatever.
Yeah. But he was so cute. I love when she was teasing him with all the different gender neutral names.
Oh my gosh.
At the at the art exhibit.
But the names that they were discussing at the hospital that were all the most ridiculous
Aloysius
names ever. I was like, can you please stop? Please stop. Pick a real name. And I think it's kind of weird that you're going to give your kid the middle name Michael whenever that is your ex-boyfriend's name.
That's where I was going when I said no. First, let's go back to Sonny because that's the reason why they're giving Mike. And then Sonny's also a Mike. However,
Michael's a Mike because of that.
But they never said Michael.
Right.
They kept saying Mike. And so I said Sasha not thinking about the fact that Mike is also her ex's name. Good for her.
Yeah, I don't know that I could do that.
And honestly, like, I know that I still get all, I mean, I'm excited for Chase and Brook Lynn. I don't know about that anymore. I was excited for it.
They keep trying to build it up to more than what we've seen. And that's
the thing is, at this point, he is again going to be
someone's savior. Yep.
But devastated. He's going to be severely
But that's what happens whenever you see someone's savior.
But he's going to be severely deceived. Like, and that's the thing. It's going to break his heart. I don't think they're actually going to get together. I don't think it's going to happen for a while. I don't think he's going to.
No. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think that she is going to say to him, you can't say that you're this kid's dad. Like, even if it's not in front of Valentin, if it's a side conversation, and then he is going to support her through all of the truth and have to be her friend.
That did not work out well for him with Willow.
I know, but that's why it's going to be different this time. It's going to be a happy ending, is he's going to support her through it, and he's going to choose to not report the truth, which is like a huge deal for Chase.
He can't do that.
And
then he won't get back off desk duty. He'll lose his job.
No one will know. It'll be okay. It's more important to protect that baby.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing with the, like, right.
But no, I understand.
He's the kind of guy that's going to get screwed over in this situation. He's not going to be able to get away with it because he's actually a good guy.
No, what?
Okay.
No, it's going to work out for them. Stop being so negative. Chase deserves to be happy.
I know he does. That's what I'm saying. I don't like the way that they're setting it up, though, because they're setting it up where
But I don't think it's going to be a manipulation. I think it's going to be a conversation and a choice that he supports Brook Lynn and they grow together from that, protecting Bailey together.
Okay, we will see what happens.
Okay.
But the long short of that is, I am very excited about the fact that we got Sasha and Brando out of that whole mess.
Yes.
Because that's one really good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to name the baby Laborious Mike Corbin. And according to names.org, because I did look it up, because I was like, I need this information.
No.
It was first recorded by the Social Security Administration for the name Laborious was Sunday, February 6th, 1910. And from 1880 to 2019, less than 5 people per year have been born with that as a first name. Congratulations, or hurrah, you are a unique individual.
Mm-hmm. No, that's not the name they're picking.
Yep.
No.
You don't think?
No, she said it jokingly. Absolutely not.
They did the full name.
But no, she was just being silly.
You want to bet?
Yes! That is not the child's name. What are we betting?
I don't know. What should we bet, guys? I don't know.
We got to come up with something because you were wrong. That is not the kid's name.
I'm hoping that they changed the name, but they might not.
No, that's not his name.
All right, so I think, okay, so one other thing that could have waited.
All of the Jason Drew stuff was ridiculous.
Well, not that. Sonny and Alexis.
Oh, yeah, that also.
That was something that was like there for a second.
Right.
And
Hi,
then,
how are you? And then boom, done. No, that could have waited. But I also feel like the Jason and Drew stuff could have waited because we didn't really end up anywhere except for seeing the caves fall in, which they said was going to happen 600 times in those
And
conversations.
they decided to stand around
right,
and talk about it.
Gunfire would make this bad. So let's
should
shoot
have
at
booked
each
it
other
out of there.
as much as possible. Yeah, absurd. And the fight with Jason and Drew, the whole time I was literally, for real, literally screaming at the TV, pull the card out and say, step down, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it step down?
Stand down?
Stand down. Thank you. I have it in my notes, but now I won't even open it because you corrected me. Yes. Stand down. Stand down. Just show the card and yell stand down.
And Peter's really never been in those tunnels before?
Beating each other up. It was ridiculous.
Peter's been hanging out there for how long? He's never checked the tunnels.
Right. That's your escape route, but you've never checked to see where it goes.
It's around here somewhere. And what? Britt was in that room for how long before she was found? And she never investigated to see if there was...
No. The whole thing was stupid.
I do like that they are keeping Britt and Liesl in physical appearance as though they are not getting blowouts every day.
Yes.
Unlike what we have seen in the past where hostages are coming in full makeup.
I agree. They also did that with Sasha and her makeup. In the beginning, it was perfect.
Yes, and then she had like little...
Yes, the eye makeup was down, and I was like, good job. You
not
actually
enough
look
running
like...
mascara, but they're getting there. I didn't like it, but I liked how scared she looked when...
Yes.
Like, she's like looking around like, okay, what is happening here? Like, do they really not coach them while they're...
I hope not, because then you'd get a more authentic performance.
No. I mean, like, when a woman is legit going in for a C-section, is there not someone standing there with her?
Oh, I don't know.
Like,
it
talking her through.
Depends on who your nurses are, just like with anything else. I've had amazing labor and delivery nurses, and I've had not great labor and delivery nurses. So it all depends. I would hope with your first one and a C-section that they would be step by step. This is going to happen next. Well, the same thing with when has Elizabeth become a labor and delivery nurse?
Is that what she is?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because she nurses everyone else.
Because that is a dedicated field, right? Okay.
Yes. And I
thought it was, but then I'm like, okay, maybe I am wrong.
No.
On Grey's Anatomy it is.
I feel like it is.
Which one's wrong? Grey's or GH?
I feel like GH is wrong. I feel like it has to be GH. I'm sure that you can do it, like, in a pinch, kind of like Austen can deliver babies in the middle of the woods if needed. But in a general rule,
I think that's doctors are taught how to. I bet our friend knows how to deliver babies.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure of it, but yeah.
Does your daughter know how to deliver babies? She's a junior firefighter.
I don't know if she knows that, but my ex delivered babies, so I know that our friend knows how to deliver babies.
Okay. Oh, I want to talk to her about this.
Call her up. Can you tell us about delivering babies? But yeah, there's definitely, I feel like all nurses pick a specialty. Like, there's nurses that deal with the cancer patients and nurses that deal with the pediatric patients and blah, blah, blah. And not saying that they can't go elsewhere if needed, but in a hospital, Liz is not the only nurse.
We have Felix. We have Amy.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Amy would be a fun. I want her to be my
We
nurse.
have Deanna.
If I have a baby.
Is that her name, Deanna?
Deanna. I want Deanna or Amy if I ever have another baby. That would be so fun.
Yes.
And I'm going to go to California so that Carrie can deliver. So I can be like, oh, my general hospital friends
is gonna
are
be
delivering my baby.
Okay. You are only allowed to have that happen if I get to go be your coach. Sorry, Ryan.
Oh my God.
Dibs. I have earned this.
I'm pretty sure no matter how happy it would
you
make
have not
me,
done anything. I earned the right to be by Amanda's side.
You did earn this, but I'm pretty sure no matter how much you want
if Carrie Shane is her doctor,
they will not be like, oh, your doctor's in California? Okay,
Karen
that's
Wexler
fine.
delivers Amanda's
my God.
child. Sorry, Ryan, you're getting bumped out.
I feel like that would mess up my M name theme also, because then I would have to name the baby Karen. Or if it was a boy, I could name it Jagger.
Just like that, forever, your baby will name Jagger. We could come up with an M first name,
you know,
and then have Karen as the middle name.
How doctors get rights to different hospitals?
Privileges.
If we asked really nice, do you think she could get privileges in Pittsburgh and come deliver my baby?
I'm sure if we ask her really nice, she said, if you ever need anything.
Exactly. Do you remember we have a recording? You said if we need anything.
I do keep the unedited versions. No.
So this is what I need, for this baby that I'm not even pregnant with. But man, would that be a
hypothetical
motivation.
baby. Okay.
That would be great.
That would be great.
That would make labor like nothing. Like my labors are pretty easy to begin with, but with her as the doctor, nurse,
you remember
whatever,
that time?
she would be like, "Why do you know more about my acting career on GH than I do?" Because I loved you.
Oh my gosh. But the only thing I was going to say positive about all that stuff, Peter was pretty funny this week when he was like, if you're thinking about looking around, don't worry, I've already cleaned out the room. Like he did all the things that we're thinking, why didn't you clean out the room?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Or when Liesl said, when are you going to? And he's like, I don't know. When are you going to stop talking? And she's like, oh, so never? I thought he was kind of,
right.
He was kind of comical this week where we don't really ever see that.
I feel like he felt like he had the situation under control.
Yeah.
So he could be light and airy about
How
it.
do we keep losing him though?
I don't know.
Like, does nobody look? He's a tall guy.
And seriously,
Nobody notices that he's moving.
those tunnels are all dusty, right? Do you not see the footprints walking behind this wall or this rock? Where
I love that, Drew.
Where did he go?
I'm a trained Navy SEAL. I remember how to look at footprints.
Right, but then we lost Peter, and all of a sudden he pops
And he was
out
literally standing right there
Yeah.
on the ground.
Right.
Nobody noticed that a 6'5" man got up and walked away.
Nope. Nope.
All right. I mean, my husband's 6'4".
You don't think you could lose him?
No.
Let's find some catacombs to go play in and see.
He's pretty easy to pick out of a crowd, let alone like an abandoned cave.
Right.
So,
I would think so.
yeah. I think that's pretty much it.
We more than covered this week with our ridiculousness.
Well, so we do have one sad piece of news from, you've heard us mention her
This is so sad.
so much.
So sad.
Do you know what's even sadder? It was released this week that Virgin Williams, who portrayed Big Alice Gunderson on General Hospital, passed away. She passed away in July, and it was just announced. Her sister released it this week on Twitter, via Twitter, November 16th, and shared the devastating details regarding what the GH star had gone through. This is in an article on NikkiSwift.com by Stacey Carey. And it's the actor who portrayed the Quartermain family maid on General Hospital died on July 20th from Wilson's disease just after her 62nd birthday, her sister detailed. Wilson's disease is a genetic disorder that causes the brain or liver to accumulate excessive copper. Ordinarily, people are able to excrete copper that the body doesn't need, but those with Wilson's disease cannot. While it can be treated if found early, it is fatal without appropriate interventions. And those affected by Wilson's disease can develop hepatitis as well as neurological and psychiatric issues. And it just goes on to say about how she began the role in 2002. And as news of her death emerged, some former co-stars shared their condolences on social media. Wally Kurth tweeted, sending heartfelt condolences to Bergine's family. She was a bright light at the Q House for many years. Nancy Lee Grahn, Alexis, shared a video clip showing her as Dobson.
Yes!
With Big Alice on Twitter and joked, best kiss ever.
Aww.
R.I.P. Bergine. And in addition, Kimberly McCullough, Robin, tweeted, Bergine was an incredible force to be reckoned with. I'm so sorry to hear of her passing.
Aww.
So
that was seriously sad. Like when
I
saw it pop
hated
up,
sending that to you, but I was like, I have to send it to her.
I was like, no, Alice, she was so funny.
She was
I didn't realize
great.
that it was just 2002.
Is when she started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh. Huh.
Yeah. So let's hope
Alice.
that they maybe add a 2-minute memorial to the end of the Thanksgiving episode would be 1,000%.
Yes.
Please do it.
Right. That would be more than appropriate.
We will put it together and send it to you. Just let us know. This is Monday that this is being released. Let me know. I can get it done Tuesday and I'll have it to you Wednesday. Therefore, you can just pop it on the end of Thursday. Okay? Perfect. But just so sad. She was so great.
And 62, that's so young.
It is. It really is. And it's going to have to be addressed on the show because Alice has ELQ stock.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Something's going to have to... They're going to have to talk about it some way, somehow. But
they should have a cousin or a niece or something show up to announce it to the Quartermains and get a job there and start it all over again because we love Alice.
That would be sweet.
Yes. Not that anyone can replace Alice, but a mini Alice would be so cute.
Or a former wrestler because...
Oh, yes.
She was a wrestler on the side.
Yes.
And they could be like, hey, I need a job.
Right.
Notice you don't have any staff right now. But sadly, I think that brings us into
reality check.
What about you?
So I have nothing at all exciting or good this week. It was just like a blah.
You got to hang out with me
week.
for 3 days in a row.
I'm sorry. My week was so exciting. I saw
It was the
Shannon
best.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, it was the best because we didn't have a ton of stuff to do. Like,
Isn't that the best?
Emily was done with work relatively early. The one day her boyfriend got her, so we didn't have to. And Megan didn't have a bunch of her after school activities this week. And so it was just Madeline's dance. Madeline got her costume for her recital. I think she has 3 costumes, but she got the first one and she is super excited because it's all sparkly with little rhinestones here and whatever. So that was exciting for her. But
That's the belly.
yeah, I guess it helps. Why can't you guys see where I'm pointing? So, like around the hip area, it comes down kind of like a corset would, where it makes the V like coming across your hips and down, and there it's accented with a couple rhinestones, like at each main point. But anyway, so yeah, that was like, it was just a let's chill at home and do nothing kind of week. Have you watched the show on Netflix? Because you like serial killer craziness. Don't F with cats on the internet.
No.
Okay.
Because am I wrong that does it have anything to do with actual cats? Because I can't handle animal torture.
Okay. So
did I watch it? I might have watched it. Hold on.
She doesn't check our Netflix history to see.
Dude, no, we talked about that this week. Netflix doesn't tell you what you've already watched.
Oh, okay.
But
so apparently this has been out for a while.
Yeah, it has.
And I've just ignored it because the name, let's be honest here, sounds a little stupid. So I'm not going to watch it because it sounds dumb. Well, we had all this free time this week to watch stuff. So Ryan put it on and I was like,
yes, I did watch it.
Okay.
Hold it. No, I did not finish it.
Oh, okay. You should finish it. So I think it has 2 or 3 parts. And I thought it was just like,
I started it.
Okay.
But I didn't even finish the first episode. Okay. So it's worth.
You need to finish it. So it is sad because it's about this guy that for attention hurts cats and then puts it out on the internet. But
that's disgusting.
It is disgusting. But they do not actually, they tell you what happened.
Let's just say that I also think it's disgusting when this happens to humans.
Absolutely. Well, so that was like the not funny, but ironic thing of that was how it started. We watch people get beat up online. We watch people say horrible things to each other. We hear about people killing people and we're like, oh, that's sad. And no one really does anything about it because like the system will handle it
Do you
or
know
whatever.
Why I think I like them? Because there tends to be justice at the end. I think that because I really started to think about it because I don't like slasher movies. And people are like, how can you not watch slasher movies? Like in horror films?
I'm with you.
But I can watch 2020 and like all these true crime things. And I'm like, because the person is found, there is justice for the family in most instances.
Right.
You know, like it's all, I'm not a fan of what happened, but it's like.
So that's why I think that you'll like this. So the guy hurts cats for attention and it's awful. Ugh. They don't show you the whole video. They tell you what has happened and you like get to see like some parts of it just to give you enough of like a,
this is how bad it was.
But you don't watch the whole video or whatever. But because it was kittens and so many people love kittens, these normal people with awesome computer skills tracked this guy and found him. Like they were Canada, France, like all over the place.
Wow.
London, like all over the place looking for this person because everything that you do on the internet leaves a footprint. And so they were finding all this stuff and like they had figured out who it was and where he was and whatever. They had to like actually call the cops in Canada and be like, listen, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then it was like days later that they found other bad stuff that happened. And then we're like, oh, wait, we should have listened to you.
Oh, wow.
And so it goes on. So it is just super cool to think that, again, normal everyday people back and forth were able to track all this stuff. And so they did. They caught him.
That's a good instance, but that's not always a good thing.
No, and that's what the lady said. That was like the main, it's a documentary, so she's not a character. It's an actual story. Yeah. But that was what she said was like, I thought I was going to spend, she was going through a bad breakup. She was like, I thought I was going to spend 2 weeks and have the information be done. And it took months because of the way this guy was jumping around. But it was,
but not just that,
really good.
That can also cause some serious harm. If it's not being done.
Right. I'm not telling anyone that they should investigate if they don't have a PI license. but it was.
I'm not saying that, but
just
it's like
neat.
this is
See that
one
you
of the
happy stories.
small-
I'm sure there's a lot of awful
that
ones.
exactly, you
Yes.
know, and someone that's innocent can wind up getting hurt. Someone
Right.
who like
Yes. No,
but in these rare
I'm focusing
instances-
on this one story.
Yes.
It is worth watching because it is neat the way it all played out. And just things.
okay. Once
that-
I finish Riverdale, maybe I'll.
All right. Ugh, go
I'm
ahead.
almost done with it.
I'm sorry. I can't have that conversation with you. If it's a show that like Emily's in love with, I feel like
I
I'm
didn't know
old.
that your kids watch it. Tell me about it because I'm sitting there watching it going, oh my gosh, when did this person get old? And then I'm like, oh wait. Or I'm thinking in my head, how are they old enough to have like a child this age?
And then you're like,
I
wait,
look
I
up
do.
how old they are and exactly. I'm like, wait a second. You're a year older than me and our kids are the same. Like that makes sense now. But yes, it's okay. My reality check is not much better. I got,
You got to see me 3 days in a row.
I am very thankful that I have good friends who I kind of crashed. Like we weren't supposed to see each other on Friday, but the gas line got scratched while some work was being done by let's just say that they were fixing something that was messed up from over the summer and caused a new problem. So yeah, they had to shut off my gas for the day. Well, it was one day that I had like nothing really planned outside the house. And so I showed up at Amanda babysits for a friend of ours and I showed up. I was supposed to show up with a couple things because friend's daughter's birthday. I was like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm just going to kind of hang out because, you know,
I need to stay warm.
I need
internet connection, and this house has both.
Exactly. Well, I still had the internet, but
Yeah.
still, it could have, and it took a while, but it arrived last week, but I got the bed frame yesterday. I got a new mattress. I got the Nectar mattress.
Oh.
And it's like so comfortable. Last night was my first night sleeping in it. So after I got home from the birthday party,
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about this before we started recording because it got dark at like 5.
Oh my God, it felt so late.
And so when I got home around 6, I just put on my pajamas because it felt like 9 and I just sat on, and it has the adjustable bed frame. So it would have been so helpful when I had my breast reduction 2 years ago, but still it's good now. I put it up to the reading level and I'm like, I feel like I'm old now because I'm like, I am so excited that I have a bed frame that goes up.
I'm with you. The older you get, the more important sleep is. I keep having this argument about I want my own bed. Like I've had a king size bed to myself for years now because my ex left and it was mine, and Madeline would join me sometimes. But other than that, because she does hog up the whole bed, but other than that, it's my whole bed to myself. So now with Ryan around, I'm like, can you go sleep somewhere else? Like you have another bed. And the radio station local to us had this conversation on Friday and was like, most spouses or people who live together do not share a bed because it is so not good for your sleep.
Okay, this is the crazy thing. My husband and I have had our entire...
What?
Yeah, we just upgraded to a queen.
What?
Yeah. He's 6'4", I'm 5'6", yeah.
Oh my God.
The past 12 years have been spent in a full.
Wow, you must really have liked each other because no way.
Well, this will come in handy because he does snore a little bit. So I can just...
adjust him up himself
Yep.
so he stops.
Well, that's the only... It's not split.
Oh, you have to adjust with him. Okay.
But still,
all right.
I'm okay with that. So, I mean, that was the highlight of my week was I got a new mattress.
I got a new bed and I could sit up in bed reading.
Yay! Yeah. So, not really a good transition into Thursday. We're going to continue our journey through the 90s about Alan Quartermain. Got so much feedback about the episodes with Lucy. So many people are loving.
And we are getting to the part of why we love him.
Yes.
So
we're getting there.
If you have not understood until recently why we loved him, these next couple years start to really show.
We should be able to finish him by the end of the year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And still be able to do our best of.
I think so too. Yeah, because
a
lot of years he's not that eventful or whatever.
So here's hoping, guys. All right. So join us on Thursday as we continue talking about Alan Quartermain.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.